So welcome to White Door Tarot, where the reader is bubbly and the readings can get dark. And the reader can also get a little yelly. So this is actually take 5, because I crap you not, I got the same cards for all 4 takes before this for a certain zodiac sign. And every single time I started yelling. And I'm like, okay, take 2, try again. Same cards, yelling again. So I have come to accept it. If the same 3 cards appear again, we're just going to go with it. Okay. But now I am showered. I am a little rested. I am less caffeinated. So hopefully things go a little less rage inducing this time. Okay. Okay. So I am doing the 3-card poll for all zodiac signs for the second week of October. Starting with Aries. Okay, 6 of Wands. That's different. It's almost like the cards are scared to come out now. No. That one felt like I forced it. Try again. 2 more cards. Of course they have to fly across the table out of spite. All right, so we've got the Daughter of Wands and the... God damn it. And the 2 of Swords. That's my blindfold card. But they're saying it a little more nicely this time. Aries. We hear it a lot in arguments, right? You say, hey, this thing that you did some damage. And then they go, well, I already know. I've been beating myself up over this. Isn't that enough? No, that is not enough. Because beating yourself up helps who? It does good. How? It is productive. How? The blindfold card. Okay, so 2 of Swords is about a stalemate, stagnancy, not looking at something. It is usually depicted as a woman with a blindfold on. Daughter of Wands is, I guess, a Princess of Wands, which doesn't exist in the traditional deck. But in this deck, this is someone who is tougher than she seems. So this to me is the card of resilience. Okay. And then we have the 6 of Wands, and that's about recovery, renewal. That's about rising from the rubble. New. And so the gist of the first 4 takes was that there is, I guess it aligns with the last Aries bonus reading that I did. The gist is that there is something that you are beating yourself up over. Whether this be something recent or something that you did a long, long time ago that you're still punishing yourself for. But punishing yourself doesn't actually do any good. I mean, feeling remorse is one thing, but from there, you're supposed to take accountability. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to take in what you have learned from this lesson or mistake or whatever it may have been, and then move forward. Because punishing yourself and carrying that burden forever is just martyrdom. It's like throwing away your life while you are still alive. You are forfeiting your right for redemption. You are forfeiting your future happiness to stay in a self-imposed prison forever. So this blindfold, it feels like it's this. It's pointing to this, the Daughter of Wands and the 6 of Wands. You are more resilient than you think you are. Humans are more resilient than we think they are. We can survive a lot. we can recover from a lot. We can go far after the biggest setbacks. Six of Wands. You can still make a comeback. And this is me still channeling the messages from the first 4 readings, but get your head out of your ass. That's what this is. Get your head out of your ass and get your head back in the game. Because you still have a shot at something good. And hopefully, now that I've actually gotten this message out, they will leave me alone about it, and I won't be getting the same 3 cards for you 4 readings in a row. Because this feels like a very specific Aries that I am reading this for, and I'm trying to tap into like a larger collective, but this is what keeps coming through. So I guess whoever this is really needed to hear this, is that beating yourself up is not productive. It's not helping anyone. It's not redeeming you in any way. It's just putting yourself in a self-imposed prison until the day you die, or until the day you get your head out of your ass and back in the game, because you're still playing. You're not done yet, because you're not dead yet. A defeat is only final if you allow it to be. So anywho, moving on. Taurus. Let's see what the Taurians have going on. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, Taurus. Looks like you had a tower moment. And the world is about endings and new beginnings. This is new cycles, whole new cycles. And when cycles are ending and beginning, we're not just talking, oh yeah, I got a new job, or oh yeah, I broke up with somebody and started dating somebody else. This is a deep foundational shift. This is shifting the way that you function, your day to day. It's massive change. And if you look at the card, there's this like core here, and then there's a layer of flowers, and there's like an Ouroboros type snake ring right here, and then there's like a rainbow ring there. It's almost like the way that the earth has formed, right? And every layer has like a different geographical landscape. So that's the kind of shift that we're talking about. Like your whole world is changing. And then we have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about leading with intuition. So as you go through this change, as you change on a fundamental level, like your life changes, it looks like this time around, you're letting your intuition lead. Because you've learned by now that when you have let your intuition lead, even when it didn't make sense, that's when the greatest blessings came in. Because when you confine yourself within your own perspective of what is best for you, you are restricted to the small periphery of a human being. Our perspectives are limited. We can't see bigger possibilities. We have blind spots, basically. But when you let your intuition lead and you allow things to come in for your greater good, that is when you gain access to things that you wouldn't have had access to, because you wouldn't have thought to access them. So it's like this new way of being involves using your intuition more. Good. Gemini. Holy hell. Gemini, what is going on? There's 9 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. And Justice. Okay. Oof. This is why 3 card pulls are a little trickier. It's because all I'm getting from this is that something bad happened and now it's over. Like that's all I got. Hold on. This is supposed to be a 3-card pull, but let's cheat and do some more. Okay. 6 of Cups. All right. So I think last time I did the Gemini reading, it was about almost like experiencing or re-experiencing some sort of loss and kind of having a moment about respecting mortality, respecting time. And that's what this is saying. Again, it's like with the 6 of Cups, that's about nostalgia. 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords. So it looks like this pain isn't present. It's not something that's happening to you now. It's something that hurts when you go back to in your mind. But with the Justice card being here, it feels almost like you're getting out of that because you've come to some sort of conclusion. You've come to some sort of realization. It's almost like going back to chew the cud and then kind of absorbing more nutrients out of it. You know, like when cows kind of circulate the food between their 4 stomachs, each time they kind of spit it back up and then they chew it and then they swallow it again and then they let it process through their next stomach. It's almost like that. Like you recycled a pain and then you got a new kind of wisdom from it. And that's a healthy thing to do. You know, I do that a lot. And it's actually helpful. You know, it's not good to stay in that energy for too long because then you're just like reminiscing and ruminating. So it's not a rabbit hole that you want to stay in for sure. But sometimes there is further wisdom to be gained from a singular experience when you revisit it years down the line. So that's what this feels like. Okay. Cancer. We got the 6 of Swords. That's the rainbow after the storm. We got Death. And the Hermit. So Cancer, it looks like you're on the up and up from something. You're going through a death and rebirth, but you're at a point right now where you're in the Hermit energy. And that's healthy. Where you are turning inward. And maybe your comeback, as in your rebirth moment, doesn't look like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It doesn't look like all dramatic and stuff. It's Hermit. Turning inward, slowly coming out of the cave with some sort of enlightenment. It looks like you're processing this rebirth slowly. And that's good. You're on the up and up. And one message though, if you are feeling guilty for having to isolate yourself for right now, you know, if people are kind of asking where you're at or tugging at your energy or you feel like you should be running around taking care of everybody else, no. Right now you should be taking care of you. And it's healthy to do so. You can't pour from an empty cup. It's a cliche, but it's true. I think that the kindest thing that we can do is fill our own cup and then share what overflows. Because then we're not giving from a place of lack or exhaustion. We're just giving what is extra. Right? So right now you're trying to fill your own cup back up after a death moment, after a 6 of Swords. So good job. Yeah. Don't feel guilty for having to hermit right now. You do what you got to do. All right. Leo. Five of Swords, conflict. 8 of Cups. Leaving something behind, loss, abandonment, and the Empress. Okay. So I keep getting consistently messages for Leos in particular that there is something that if you leave behind, you'll turn out a lot better than you think you will. And I think we're still there because this conflict, it can be inner conflict. To me, this feels like conflict about leaving something behind. But it's been consistent in the messages that there is something that Leos need to leave behind. Let's pull another one. Just to prove my point. All right, so the spike cards that I pulled are the Devil and the Ten of Swords. Boom. Heavy burdens, obsessive, controlling, negative, toxic energy. There's something that you have to leave behind for you to embody this Empress energy. Whether this be a person, place, or thing. And I don't know how many more times I can say this. But Leo, you have to leave this behind. And if you're a new watcher, watch all the previous Leo videos. Seriously, it's been consistent. There's something that you gotta leave behind because it's toxic. All right. Next. Virgo. Ace of Swords. Chariot. Nine of Pentacles. Nice. Okay. So, Virgo, I have been reading consistently for you guys too that you're working on something new. You're working on some kind of new venture. With the Ace of Swords being here, it's like you get a eureka, aha, epiphany moment. And with that newfound inspiration, you start moving. Fast movement forward is what the Chariot represents. To victory. And as a result, Nine of Pentacles. This is a pretty straightforward message, is that whatever you're working on, there's a piece missing that you're going to find. And that is exactly what's going to propel you forward faster towards a positive outcome. Yeah, honestly, this is winner, winner, chicken dinner energy, which I like for the Virgo folks because you guys work hard. You deserve the rewards of what you work for. That was quick, but that's all I got. All right, Libra. I like how all the cards turned up face down. Okay, Ten of Cups, Son of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Okay. All right, Libra. It looks like in the second week of October, you're getting good news. That's all this is. Simply put, because Son of Swords is fast communication, sometimes even impulsive. But that's going to lead to emotional and financial fulfillment. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Looks like you're getting some good news. Is there anything else that we want to elaborate on? Because that was quick. That's just simple. That's literally a one sentence reading. Well, there you have it, Libra. That's it. The cards don't want to say anymore. That's it. You're getting good news. Congrats. All right. Scorpio. Okay. So you got the Five of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. There's a watering hole that's dried out for you. That's what the Five of Cups is. It's there's nothing left here for me anymore. Then we got the Seven of Pentacles. And that's about reevaluating. It's a period of contemplation and also considering where you want to put your investments. So, Seven of Pentacles comes right before the Eight of Pentacles in the deck, of course, because numbers. Eight of Pentacles is about hard work. It's about putting your all into something to master a craft, to grow something. Seven of Pentacles is the step before that, where you're like, what do I want to put my energy into? Right? Six of Pentacles is where you start to see the fruits of your labor, your harvest coming in. So you take those harvests and you go, okay, now where am I putting them? That's where the Seven of Pentacles is at. So it's like you're walking away from a dry watering hole finally. You're just like, yep, this isn't nourishing to me anymore. This isn't helping me anymore. This isn't conducive to the life that I'm trying to live. So, bye. Now, I take my pentacles and go where? It looks like with the Ace of Wands here is that you're going to find something new and shiny that you want to put your investments into. Let's go a step beyond the Ace of Wands. So Scorpios have been going through a rough time. Okay. Daughter of Cups. So it looks like there's something that's going to be meaningful to you on an emotional level that you want to put your pentacles into. Could this perhaps be? Oh, okay. Okay, so it looks like the Hierophant, that's deeper knowledge, higher wisdom. Deeper wisdom, higher knowledge. So it's about either you're going back to school to try to learn something that you want to do, or you're like deepening your knowledge in some sort of area. The Hierophant is also actually a very spiritual card as well. So perhaps you're starting a new spiritual practice or something of the sort, but you're investing your energy now, not externally, but you're investing it into yourself, is what this feels like. You're investing it into building yourself. Whether this be, again, going back to school, or, learning a new skill, or, developing a spiritual practice or something like that. But it's more emotionally fulfilling to you. So it's almost like you're taking all this energy that you've been spilling out and you're turning it inward and building yourself up. So good. That's a good thing. All right. Who's next? Sagittarius. Three of Swords, Six of Cups. Similar to Gemini. Judgment. Nice. Okay. All right. So it looks like a past hurt is coming back in to your life. And I say that because the Six of Cups is about nostalgia. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak. So it looks like it came back, or it's coming back into your life. But you're having a judgment moment. It's almost like something that you outgrew is trying to crawl back in, and you're like, nah, stay over there where I put you. Yeah, that's what this feels like. Okay, so Sag, if something old comes back into your life that you have outgrown, do not fall for their tempting ways. Say no, because that is beneath you now. Okay. Next, Capricorn. Oh, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. That's about deception. I never like seeing that. And the Hermit. Okay. Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, the Hermit. That's a really weird combo, not gonna lie. Clarify the the Nine of Pentacles for me. Oh. Okay. Now clarify the Seven of Swords for me. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. And the Hermit. All right. So, Nine of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. The word that came to mind was blurry. Blurry. It's almost like because the Five of Cups is about loss, right? It's about a watering hole that went dry. But it's almost like the way you're looking at it is like it was the Nine of Pentacles when it was actually a Five of Cups. Nine of Pentacles is like ultimate abundance, the best that you can do on your own kind of thing, or like stability, or it's like, yeah, abundance, but not quite complete. So it's like the way that you're perceiving it is better than what it actually was. And I say that because with the Seven of Swords here, it's about deception, and it's almost like a lying to self kind of feeling. Ace of Pentacles is usually the card of like a new material beginning type thing. But the Ace of Pentacles feels like a reference to the Nine of Pentacles to me right now. Like it's clarifying, okay, that wasn't a Nine of Pentacles. That wasn't abundance. That was potential. So, yeah, That's what I'm getting from this. It's all blurry. It's almost like you're not seeing things quite right. What you lost wasn't a 9 of Pentacles. It was a 5 of Cups and an Ace of Pentacles. It was potential, not abundance. Okay. And it almost looks like you do realize that, and that's why you're going into hermit mode right now, so that you can introspect and reflect and get your head straight. That's what this, yeah, that's the wording that I'm getting here. You're getting your head straight by turning inward. So good. Go through that. It's good for you. All right, moving on. All right, Aquarius. Father of Swords. It's about discernment, communication, thinking. Also just heard maturity. In contrast to the Son of Swords, which is more impulsive communication, quick communication, news coming in. And then we've got the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. I was going for 3, but I got 4, but that's fine. There's a lot of swords here. So it looks like you're getting in some kind of fast news, fast communication. And it's some sort of like epiphany that is going to lead you to a 10 of Cups. Father of Swords, Son of Swords, Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups. Yeah, this feels like something. Really? Spell out what you just told me. G O D. So what I just heard, what I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, this is a lot of sword energy. And in my mind, the visual that I was getting was like all these swords pointed at one thing. And then I heard the voice of God. As in that phrase. It just said voice of God. Oh, Kundalini awakening type stuff. Got it. Okay. Am I getting it? Is that what this is? Yeah, that's what this is. So let me tell you a story. I'm not trying to keep this, I'm trying to do all this really quick, but let me tell you a story real quick. When I went through my first awakening, I'm pretty sure that was a Kundalini awakening. And what a Kundalini awakening is it's almost like you feel this like spiral of energy from the base of your spine because you're reawakening some like stagnant life force energy down there. And when I had my Kundalini awakening, I'm pretty sure I heard the voice of God. I was lost and I didn't even believe in anything, yet I was at a church because I was seeking. I was trying to find my way back from a very tough part of my life. And I had graduated therapy. I tried to go back to therapy, and all they really told me was, you're having a very normal response to a very unreasonable and abnormal situation. So you're actually handling this just fine. But it was uncomfortable, right? Because sitting through the sucks. So I went to church because I was like, there's got to be something more to help me feel better about this. And anyway, I was sitting there and all of a sudden everything went black. And I saw myself sleeping in a field of dandelions. And I heard, let go, live in love. No, wait, before that happened, that field of dandelions picture turned into flashes of the most horrible moments of my life. Okay. The worst moments, absolute worst moments, like we're talking childhood abuse kind of moments. And then I heard, let go, live in love. And then the way that I've described it is I feel like a toilet flushed inside of me. And that must have been that spiraling feeling that they talk about with Kundalini awakenings. And I felt absolute bliss for a month after that. I like unlocked unconditional love, like something changed inside of me, and I've never been the same since. And that's happened a couple more times in my life in different moments and in different ways. But this feels like Kundalini awakening. I know it's an odd thing to read from a Father of Swords, Son of Swords, Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups. But with the wording, the voice of God, yeah, that's what came to mind. Kundalini awakening. And they can happen completely spontaneously, but they are life-changing. So some of you guys might be having a Kundalini awakening this week or sometime soon. Which kind of makes sense because I'm pretty sure mine happened in October of that year. Yeah, pretty sure. Anyway, all right. Good luck. Report back if it happens because these are always interesting stories. All right. Moving on. Pisces. Ooh, Mother of Swords this time. Two of Wands. And the Four of Wands. Huh. What's the Two of Wands about? I see. Okay. So the Mother of Swords is a very discerning character. She watches like a hawk. She's a little bit critical. Two of Wands is about a crossroads. It's about trying to decide if you want to go this way or that way. It's two different paths. And then the Son of Pentacles, clarifying, along with the Nine of Swords, tells me, see, the Son of Pentacles is a bit of a shy character. He's a bit reserved. He doesn't have very many friends. But he's also kind of like a young energy. Nine of Swords is about anxiety, depression, a lot of mental anguish. So with the Two of Wands being here, do I want to take this path or that path? What this tells me is it's almost like you're choosing between war and peace. War and peace. Because the Mother of Swords is also someone that has a lot to say. And her coming before the Two of Wands almost feels like, is it worth it or not? But let me clarify, but I have thoughts on this. I feel like going to war is ironically the path that's going to lead to the Four of Wands. But let's see what the cards have to say. Two of Swords, blindfold. Yeah. With the blindfold card being here, it's like, yeah. Whatever this is, it's worth going to war for. Don't put blindfolds on just because you want to be passive. That's what that feels like. So if you're trying to decide between two paths, and one path involves keeping your mouth shut, turning the other cheek, trying to be the bigger person, quote unquote, or being someone's karma, do that. Because for whatever reason, this is telling me that now is not the time to be passive. For whatever reason, the more turbulent path is what's going to lead to stability, ironically. Yeah. Let me know how that's resonating with you, because I'm curious. Okay. Well, that was the 3-card pulls for all of the zodiac signs for the second week of October. And some of the messages were just short and sweet, but maybe that's all you needed to hear. And if you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, comment to help me out with the algorithm, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one.